Hello there, I'm DPG, and welcome to Dan's Horror Pop Culture Podcast, as I like to call it. Now let's get to the important topics today. Halloween. Now, I am going to talk about Freddy's Dead eventually. I have something coming in the mail next week for next week's podcast, and it's going to be amazing. So today, I want to talk about another one of the big three. You can see my boy Mikey peeking over my shoulder. Halloween, and I'm part of this horror group called Killer Flicks, admin by Lee McCoy, aka Dumb Drums, and Cody Leach, respectively. And I posted something on there, a theory I have for part 4. Because after the first two, which were the first 2 nights in Michael's initial attacks on Laurie Strode and the babysitters and his darkness over Haddonfield, number 3 was a tried anthology with the masks that was going to be a different Halloween movie every year, and it didn't do successfully. So they rebooted it initially, bringing back Michael Myers, if you want to call it that, because 3 was different direction and 4 was back to the same. And I was thinking, like, what if Halloween 4, this is my radical idea, was a lot like one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies, which I'll talk about eventually, part 5, A New Beginning, where it's not actually Michael Myers doing the killing, it's Ben Tramer. So in the second movie, you see Ben Tramer in the Michael Myers-like mask, walking down the street, and Dr. Loomis thinks it's Mikey, so he starts shooting at him, and then a police car bashes into him, blows him up. But what if he survived? And he's out for revenge, because part 4 is called The Revenge of Michael Myers. That would have been a misleading title. What if the reason why he's killing in part 4 is because he was in love with Laurie Strode, and his only chance of love, maybe he felt being a young man, you never know, life's short, obviously, you get friggin' blown up. But what if he missed his only chance and he's just angry at Haddonfield, angry at the world? So he dons the mask of the Shape and starts killing, and kind of like part 5. And then another theory I have for another part of Halloween later in this podcast, what if the mask gives him strength, like in The New Beginning, where, spoiler alert, Roy puts on Jason's mask and all of a sudden has super strength that obviously maybe he's strong, but a paramedic wouldn't be like an unbeatable behemoth, be able to kill people like that. Gave Ben Tramer the power to kill. Wouldn't that have been more interesting than retreading? I think it would have. I think it would have been a lot of fun. And then maybe part 5 and part 6 would have been differently. It would have been the Ben Tramer trilogy instead of the Thorn Cult trilogy. Imagine that. I think that would have been friggin' amazing. I think that would have been cool as heck. That's just my idea. Let me know in the comments what you think of if Ben Tramer would have been the killer in part 4 instead of Michael Myers. This is my theory. And also I have another theory with Halloween 2, Electric Boogaloo, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Family Forever, whatever, White Horses. My theory is, and I don't think Rob Zombie ever went away from this simple idea of that Laurie Strode was the killer in the second movie. And you're just like, how is that? Michael Myers was smashing heads and killing people and wearing a decomposed mask. But what about, just like in my radical idea, my radical theory, that mask gave Laurie Strode supernatural powers? I mean, why not? It would have been a different take, would have been different than Halloween 2, 1981, where it's just Mike wasn't killed and he appeared in the hospital going after Laurie Strode and killed a whole bunch of people. What if Mikey was actually Laurie Strode with the mask on. That's giving her supernatural powers. And she was dreaming about killing her best friend anyways. Annie was dreaming about killing her. And maybe she didn't like the party lifestyle she was getting. That her new friends at that record store she was working at, she didn't like that lifestyle. And killing cops, I mean, why not? Or upon reading the book, discovers that her mom was a stripper. So maybe Laurie Strode went to that bar, that stripper bar, and killed those people as, like, you know, the ghost of her mom telling her to take the revenge on that stripper bar. She killed those 3 people, the naked woman, the Frankenstein, and then the other guy who got his head stomped. I think that's an interesting theory. I think that's what went on in Halloween 2. That's what I think. I think because you look at either endings of theatrical or director's cut, at the end when they're in the shed and you know, they're going after they're you know, she puts on the mask in the director's cut and she gets shot and you hear "Love Hurts." I mean, every time I hear "Love Hurts," I'm thinking of that show. So I always thought that "Love Hurts" in those movies was funny. What if that was the case? What if she got killed, but maybe she was supposed to survive, because it looks like she might have went to heaven or something after she got shot, or actually I think she gets shot in both versions. I mean, I know the director's cut has Michael go "die," but what if it's Laurie and Laurie's just like "die"? So that's what happens, and she stabs Loomis because Loomis abandoned Michael and pretty much ruined her life. So I think secretly Halloween 2, Electric Boogaloo, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, was a secret revenge film starring Laurie Strode, masked in mirrors of Michael Myers, white horses, and ghosts of Mike's young self. They were directing her to do the killings. That's my radical theory. So what do you guys think of my 2 radical ideas? My radical idea that Halloween 4 could have been about Ben Tramer, could have been a Ben Tramer trilogy. Ben Tramer being the killer instead of Mike. It could have been in a whole different direction. Maybe part 6 would have been even better. And then in Rob Zombie's 2, Electric Boogaloo, Halloween 2, Electric Boogaloo, it is Laurie Strode the killing, in that she's wearing the mask, gives her supernatural powers. That's my theories. That's my radical theory and my radical idea. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If I'm crazy or I'm right. I just have these ideas just pop in my head. You know, I'm a working man, so I got, you know, ideas, you know, when I'm at my job site, top flight security of the world. The next week, or when I get this shirt in, order Freddy Dead shirt. It's going to be awesome. For my next podcast about defending Freddy's Dead and why Nightmare on Elm Street isn't as scary or as creepy as everyone thinks it is, and why Freddy's Dead was the best conclusion of the New Nightmare, which is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And I will defend that to the end. So when I get that shirt, I'll upload a podcast with my stringent work schedule when I have free time to do it and talk about that. And then we'll keep it going. If you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe. Well, let's have more fun. Y'all enjoy your Thursday.